What's up, guys, and welcome back to this build series. Today we're going to be working again on this pad, trying to get this cleared. Got a huge milestone accomplished this morning. I got power ran to the shop. I mean, I know that's not exciting for some of y'all, but if you see me using my hand hatchet and other battery tools, this is pretty big for me. Now I can use my sawzall and try to get some trees done. I am a stubborn bastard, and I refuse to admit defeat. Probably one of my toxic traits. So, I'm not going to buy crap until I absolutely 100% need crap, because I'm going to attempt this as much as I can for free and then see if I need to hire somebody to come out and do this, which I'm probably going to end up doing because I don't know tractors. Anyways, I got 5 or 6 extension cords daisy chained over to the house. I don't know how far that is, but it's over yonder. Fish this guy through the trees, and now all these trees that I'm dropping, I can then cut up and put on my pile. Hopefully try to get some of this stuff cleaned up. Eventually I'm gonna have to get a tractor in here, and I don't know what I don't know. I do cars. So anyways, we're gonna get going this morning. It's only slightly a heat advisory today. I don't know what that means. My phone keeps telling me don't go outside, it's Satan's butthole out there, and I would agree. Of course, I've never been to Satan's butthole, so I guess this is what it is. Anyways, it's 98 degrees with a heat index of 100 and something or other. And it's a great time to start cutting on some trees. Enjoy. Alright, well, I'm stubborn, but I'm not that stubborn. Went into town, got me a steel chainsaw. It's the Wood Boss, so I guess that means it's made for cutting wood. Anyways, we got a lot done yesterday before I gave myself heat stroke and passed out, so that's always a win. Rained like crazy last night, which, if you don't know my luck, I guess I can kind of explain it to you. We've been at this property for about a month now. I think it drizzled once, maybe twice in that month. Closing on the other house, so I had to get the Chevelle out and bring it over to this house. And the day that I brought it over like 1 in the afternoon. I parked it under the tree over there, and it had thunderstorms and like 50-mile-an-hour winds. Yep. So I was like, man, I really gotta hurry and get something to put this car under. So I got me a car cover overnighted, and car cover was supposed to be here like 2 o'clock or something the following day, so day 2 of rain, and it just let loose with some ridiculousness of rain. Didn't start, however, until I walked outside, and then it just started pouring. So maybe I'm like a rain magnet. Anyways, I got the car covered, and that's just my luck. It could not rain here for years, and then I pull the car out and it rains like crazy. I'm sure some of you have similar luck. Anyway, here's what we got done yesterday. Had a few more of these trees cut down. I still got to cut this one up. My brush pile is getting large. Still some pieces here that I got to put on there. I've still got, 10, 12 trees to go, and probably beyond that too, because I'm going to need room to pull cars around and stuff. Thankfully, all of this is truck yankable for the most part, except for a couple of them, so that will be great. Starting to lose my shade here. So I got the boy out here with me, somewhere over there. He's going to be running the little John Deere tractor up and down the road, getting all the dead stuff on the side of the road, and we're gonna have to move our little burn pile here, which, as you can see, is taller than I am. Project manager came in late, as they often do. I guess the wife came home and decided that we're not going to burn anything in the forest, so I guess that's going to happen now. So we're going to take this burn pile that we've been piling for a week, and we're going to move it. Does that make sense? And we're going to move it all the way down by the house. There's a clearing. I have a burn barrel, and I'm going to stubbornly cut all the trees up into small pieces and burn them over time, or rent a chipper, or burn it when she's not home, or something. Fire! But it's not going to be here. So we're going to get this pile moved. I've got a lot of little guys that I'm going to try to pull out with the truck once we do that. And we're just going to get as much as we can get done today. We're going to get done today, because it's supposed to be one of the coolest days in forever. So I'm going to try to get you set up. I packed and moved, and I don't know if you can see it. My entire 2-car garage is in an 8x12 shed in boxes. Somewhere in there are all my GoPro mounts and GoPros and things. So you've been getting me talking a lot, and not a lot of action footage. So I'm going to try to get that set up today with some stuff. So hopefully I give you guys some action shots. It's not one of those adult websites. You're just going to get me cutting trees down. But anyways, we're going to get that going and enjoy, because I won't be. See, figured out is in full effect. We'll see how that works out. I know I said I was going to move on. I'm lazy. I'm going to see if this works. Okay, bye.
It came loose. What? It came loose. More. Get it? I think so. pointing against that tree. That doesn't sound good. I don't know. It's out. No. Is it upside down? No. There you go. It's not leaning over yet, though. Yeah. No. Oh. You're good. Yeah, me too.
I don't think I could make this up if I tried. So I tried cutting down this tree over yonder, and it fell this way. And to get that tree down, I tried cutting that tree to hit that one and knock it over. And I probably shouldn't stand right underneath the two trees that are just not wanting to fall. That's smart. Anyways, I tried to knock one tree down with another, and I don't understand this, but they're not going anywhere. So I could try to cut one of these two down, but then I'm standing under the trees that are going to fall when I fall that one. So then I thought about cutting the one back here down and then hitting all three of them, but I don't want to leave 3 trees up. Yep. And my chainsaw blade is no longer bladed. It's no longer sharp. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of a late start this morning, but got a lot done. Just a lot is a lot out here. We lopped off probably 6 or 8 more trees. I got most of them cut up. It's a lot to harvest the tuft, as they say in the Lorax. You gotta harvest all that crap and then, stack it in here, make a truckload down to the big burn pile. Just it takes forever. So I guess everything's waiting on me getting all this stuff cleared out. Once I get it cleared out, of course, dumps. So I got a guy coming, supposed to be looking at all these things. I guess we'll figure out if he's gonna do it or if I'm gonna do it. So anyway, we're tired, we're gonna go inside. See you tomorrow. Well, hello there. Welcome to another day of I Was Left Unsupervised. I was looking at how many trees I needed to cut down, and I didn't want to cut down all them big ones over there, and I got a bunch of littlands over this way, so I kind of changed the shop layout. So we were going to go that way, and there's just, a bunch of big trees over there. But, if I went this way with it, it kind of lays a little better. It's a little bit more levelish. I say ish at the end of that. And there were just little bitty guys over here that I had to take down. I think I have all of the trees cut down now. There was, I don't know, 50 or so trees that we've cut. Oh, dang it. I forgot about that little guy. Oh well, that'll be easy. Anyways, I got me a big old pile of brush, and I got to get rid of all this because, all the next steps going into phase 2 of leveling and pad and chop and everything is getting my stuff done. So we're going to get that done today. I went out and got me a wood chipper. So we're going to fire this thing up, and we're going to make some tan bark and hopefully get through all of this. So we're going to get the boy off the Xbox, and we're going to get down here and get going. So this is my luck. We rented the chipper, put the key in to, do the starting thing, and would you know it, I got Poplar Bluffed. They stole the battery. Dang it! Now I get to drive all the way back into town, and I guess hopefully they got a battery, or they only had one chipper. So we tried. Got most of that cleared out. We got these 2 trees here and this little guy. Move the chipper down where I can get in here a little closer, so we're not hauling this stuff 30 feet. So we're going to cut these treetops off, get them through the chipper, and then I'm probably going to nip that thing over here so we can get to these treetops over here and get those done. Then we can go eat. every 10 minutes, this dog comes out from the house to the 95-degree weather and has to see, is there any fresh worms? He's hungry, boss. That's what happens when you're 15 years old and senile, eating the worms. Oh well, best project manager you can have. Well, they don't know what you're doing. Ha! Back to it. We burned through a tank of fuel on this thing, and I got a couple of the big ones out, and oh my lord, some of them big ones were rooted pretty deep. A lot of the littler ones were not, and they came out kind of easy. So I tried to get a little bit of the grading done coming in this way, trying to push it on down the hill. It's kind of hard to show you guys with this being the camera, but it's about 4 feet higher over here than it is over here. So I've been it drops maybe a foot or two. These flies. Drops maybe a foot or two going that way. So I've been trying to push the dirt that way, and then ultimately this whole little corner here is going to go that way. The guy said that's doing all the concrete and stuff. I get it close, he'll get it closer. So I guess, we're both doing government work here. I do have a lot of little guys out here. Knocked my stick over. I got this tree that was, forked over one of these trees over here and kind of suspended 8 feet in the air. So I got that out of the way, and I'm gonna start pushing these little guys up out of the way. I'm not wasting time right now clearing all this out. I can do this while they're forming and pouring concrete and doing whatever they're doing. Grabbing them trees and take them down to the gun range. So that's the plan for that. Just get them out of the way. That one's painted. I don't know why. I must have thought it was going to be close. Looks like a good tree. I don't know if I'm taking that down or not. Anyway, I got a bunch of these little guys over here. This should go fairly quick in the morning. And I'll probably get these ones done in the afternoon. Quite a bit of debris and just junk everywhere and a bunch of little trees, but ultimately I got this taken care of. Starting to have a good base building up, so hopefully it'll be pretty quick tomorrow. I can start pushing stuff. It's supposed to thunderstorm I think Monday and Tuesday, so maybe that'll help the pad, maybe it'll not help it, I don't know. I gotta come out here with a raincoat and watch and see where the water goes. I saw a couple trenches on the backside, so I'm gonna watch those and see how the water falls on this, and see while I have the tractor what I gotta do for drainage. So I guess that's good to get some homework done. I don't have any diesel at the house. Also got gray hair right there. Anyways, I'm gonna go to the gas station and fill this guy up so she's ready for the morning, and do this again tomorrow. Well, you know, there it is. Looks like a very large pad now that it's cut out. I probably went 10 feet on either side so the poor guys putting up the panels on the roof can actually move around and I can get a trailer around. So it's probably way bigger than it actually needs to be. But we've got all of the trees off. There's a whole lot of debris everywhere. God, it's dusty. I have corner stick here. I need to go probably 4 feet down in this corner to get it put over there. This is not the tool for this job. This is what I have. So we're gonna figure it out. I'm probably gonna drag the ground with the bucket, loosen everything up, and then try as best I can to push this over that away. I've got this thing for another couple days, so I'll make use of what I got. Hopefully not spend any more money, just a lot more time. So we're gonna loosen all this side up, get it all powdery, and then kind of drive it that way. Eventually I'm gonna have to put a string out here so I know what the hell I'm doing. And today is Saturday, so I've got today and tomorrow to do dirt moving things, but hopefully I can get most of this powder moved and then we get a nice good storm in here and it'll, I mean, at least wet it down a little bit and I can see what's going to happen with the pad. I probably should go ahead and just dig some trenches around it while I got the machine. Anyways, enough talking. Let's get back in this tractor and start working. Oh, by the way, it does have air conditioning, but when you're sitting on top of the motor, it actually makes it hotter inside that thing than it does outside. So I keep having to get outside and get some airflow and things, and cooking like a microwave in there. That's all right. Some guys pay for a sauna. I guess I don't need to. Anyways, let's go back. Describe to people how my luck works out. They just, you know, they think it's like a reality TV show. It can't really be that bad. But I can confirm to you, it is that bad. It's Saturday and the rental place just closed. And then my track broke. Now I'm over here and my truck is over there. Now we're gonna try to get this thing close to the truck, or at least where a wrecker can come in and grab it. Well, we got the new, well, another excavator here. After the one with the track blew, swapped this guy out. As soon as I got it off the truck, I did about an hour or so work just trying to move some dirt around, and figured I'd call it a night. So came out here bright and early, fresh to start this morning, and I put the key in and it doesn't turn. So I fiddled with it for a while. I even hooked up a battery charger, bad jump box to it, just thinking maybe I left something on and it was dead. It's not dead. It's got full voltage. Confirmed that with the multimeter. So I called the rental place back and they suggested I spray some WD-40 in the keyhole. I guess we'll try that. It's kind of frustrating. It's a lot of time that I could have been doing work. So anyways, I'll walk back down here and find some WD-40 in one of my boxes that I have and keep moving. Okay, well, what a morning. Couldn't get this thing started, thought it was the battery, put a battery charger on it, it was not, or jump pack on it, wasn't the jump pack, it was a switch. So did some things, got the switch to work. Not gonna go into that, but I got the switch to work now. Then I realized that there's backhoe and track hoe and some other hoe mode. Basically it inverts the controls, I guess, which stick does what. The equipment I had before was in one mode, this one's in the other mode, so everything that I taught myself now is backwards, and it's going to take me twice as long. So I figured out where the little switch was. The guy that dropped the other one off was doing something under there, so I found it, switched it, back to where I know how to operate this damn thing. And we're going to get some work done. I only wasted 2 hours this morning. So let's get this patent. the rain and it doesn't work. This thing just, there's no dehumidifier in here. Close that little guy, but it doesn't seem to, I don't know, not do anything. So I'm tempted to try to drive this blind back somewhere near the house so I don't get soaked and so I don't get hit by lightning. But that's going to call it a day today. So, guess we'll get more done tomorrow. Well, we've reached that point in the build where I've officially can't go any further. I'm not an equipment operator. I've got that pad probably as level as I'm going to get it. So I made a couple phone calls and I found a guy who's going to be able to get this thing started and get the concrete work done. I am close enough to level that we can throw some rock down and make things happen. So tomorrow morning we're going to start doing this. Guys are going to come out and they're going to put rock down. I already got rock ordered and it's going to be here in the morning. We're going to do things and go on into the next build. So I just wanted to say that this is going to wrap this video up for now, the end of phase 1, and tomorrow morning we are going to start phase 2, getting the concrete and the building up. So thanks for watching this. If you guys have any questions about the craziness that I did, please let me know or ask down below. I'm going to try to get you guys as much of this content as I can as I go through it, because I've never done it, but I've always wanted to see what's involved with it, and now I'm doing it. Maybe somebody else will want to see it too. So anyways, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more content.